notify the people. Hey guys, Saturday Q&A is on early. Brother. All right, let's just wait a few minutes for people to get in. But that will grow old within time. I feel like you just make random noises whenever nothing's happening.
Mm-hmm.
I'm starting to recognize that as like a theme.
Keeps me from getting bored.
Well, whatever works then, I guess. I gotta clean my glasses anyway. So I guess that we can do that while we wait. But that will get old.
I make the rhythm.
Well, it's not really a rhythm.
You just gotta see it.
You can't see rhythm.
You can see sound.
What?
Yeah. If sound is big enough, you will see it.
Well, that's right and wrong at the same time. Because not most sound is like that. That's like very specific sound.
Like, I can make music off the top of my head. I can't read sheet music.
Okay. I've never really paid attention to sheet music.
Like, I can make some music easy. Make a good rhythm, make a good song. No sheet music. Just gotta make the rhythm. Kind of like how I made a rhythm with my water bottle so many times it has dents in it now.
Then maybe you should stop doing that.
Like, look at the bottom, it's all messed up.
Well, you ever think maybe you should stop doing that?
No.
Okay, I'm gonna get on to comments here and get people on.
Like, the first day I had this portable, no dents in it. Second day, a bunch of dents in it. My other water bottle, I ripped off all the paint.
Q&A is on. Jesus. Q&A is on. Q&A is on. Q&A is on. Bang. Julio. It's right there. Q&A is on. Especially since this is happening a bit early. People might take a minute to get in. You know who this is? Kaz. What's going on here? Guess we're gonna have to wait. I pretty much told everyone on the Discord and on YouTube comments about it, so it's more or less just we gotta wait. Hello? Anybody in yet? Are you just chilling listening to music?
Yes.
Neat. Can we not do that? Can we just not do that? There are other ways that you can entertain yourself, you know?
Oh yeah, this thing. This thingy bob.
What?
The thing called the PlayStation. It costed me a buckload of money.
Yeah. Well, how about we do that after the Q&A? See, that's the thing. The thing. Do you mind? Do you mind? I am not your personal playing board.
But what if you are?
But I'm not. And neither is anything in this area. Hey, Slick. Nice to see you. And my brother is here too. We have just been pretty much waiting for people. So, are you at all a Transformers fan? Because I recently posted the Cliff Jumper story and people are really taking a liking to that, and you need to stop. People are in now, which means that the rat-a-tat-tatting can stop now. We have people coming into the stream, which means we have to act like actual civilized human beings here.
I am a civilized human being.
Well, you're not really showing it. Anyway. So you've like seen the story so far, or like what specific Transformers do you like? Transformers Prime, the live action, like specifics more or less. Because people are really taking a liking to especially the first part of my Cliff story. Hello. All right, there's people in. Let's drop the phones and start the Q&A officially. So how is the people who's in so far liking the Cliff story, the updates for the McQueen finish story, and the stuff that's been going on? And like Abraham Lincoln, all that stuff. And with all those kinds of questions out of the way, with my brother here at the side here, we got another Omniverse of Nick Saturday Q&A with a duo pattern. Then, of course, more people are going to end up showing up, obviously. I'd be disappointed if that weren't the case. The Cliff story is very good so far, especially the first part. Like, people are loving the first part, especially. With over friggin' 600 views and like 20 likes. That's good for a start. What if Rick spared Dave and Tony? See, I'm not going to do any Randall group-based what-ifs, except what if Randall survived, and what if Randall's group were the ones who attacked Terminus, and that's why there's so many similarities, and, you know, that stuff. Because there really just wasn't much of Randall's group to go off of, so there's no point in tackling. So, sorry. I just am not going to do something if there's not enough details. It's all about details.
Details.
Did you say details?
Yes.
That's not a word.
It's a word. It's two words combined. So it makes a double word.
Gotcha. If Sophia joined Terminus, that is saved. How are you guys liking the updates, especially what I teased and those awesome pictures for the Lightning McQueen Rick story? Because I'm going to tell you what, beginning and ending, like I've been teasing over and over, best parts. And you guys are really going to go down in history saying that is the best story on the channel whenever it comes out. What if Goku joined Vegeta's crew when Raditz tried to recruit Goku? That is saved. What about you?
Huh?
You got any ideas?
Water.
I meant what if ideas.
What if water was water?
It is!
What if water was Pepsi and Pepsi was water?
Then it would be... That doesn't even make any sense!
It makes total sense.
That's backwards logic.
So?
You can't put a what if idea down and then not make it sensible. It doesn't work to make it a story.
What if a story was a sandwich and a sandwich was
Okay,
a
now you're
story?
just being silly. I asked you for like cohesive ideas here. It could be for The Walking Dead, Cars, Dragon Ball, what we like play game style, anything. It's not like we haven't done this before.
What if Minecraft was a game of circles instead of cubes?
Huh. I don't know.
Like instead of blocks, they're just circle blocks.
What if more spared Julia? That's already saved, and that's going to be coming up here soon on the channel, actually. Can we stop that? With the random noises? I mean, you know, I can't believe I'm doing this, but that actually is decent. It's not like, it's still a very silly idea, but see, in order for me to like, with silly ideas, it has to be like a good silly. It can't be like a way too offlandish silly or like an out there silly. To me, it has to be like a good silly or like an in between. So, you know, was circles instead of blocks.
How many?
What if Beta died instead of Axel? Huh? Oh, both of them did die. Oh! Axel wouldn't replace Beth or Carol, and people have asked me about that stuff before. I have what if Axel survived and plenty other Axel stories, but in terms of replacing one of those mains, even if Beth died in season 5, stupidly, Axel just doesn't replace the likes of Carol or Beth. See, in order to replace a character, that other character you're replacing with the one you're killing, instead to make it different, it has to be worth replacing.
What if Rick Grimes? I forgot the rest of my sentence. Oh, what if Rick Grimes, just when he got out of the
What?
the thingy-mabob.
This-
And when he woke up, since of all the new changes,
The hospital?
yeah, when he woke up, he just couldn't handle all the changes in the world, and he just went on a killing rampage.
I'll get back to you on that. What if Carol died instead of Ed? That's saved, no, that's saved. That's saved. I thought I got rid of that. So you're saying, like, what if Rick, like, turned psycho at the very beginning of The Walking Dead?
Yeah, and just started killing every character through, like, season 1.
Then the world would have been doomed. Think about it. Rick is still alive past the ones who live 7 years after the apocalypse has hit. So if he went on a killing spree, it would just be like the end of my Dale story, which in turn was a dream of Dale's. but it wouldn't end well. Rick's a main, and him being the main like that, going on a killing spree, he would either get himself killed, and any group would just be leaderless, or just the entire world would be screwed. Well, anyway, the world would be screwed.
It's an apocalypse, so of course this world is screwed, no matter what outcome.
Well, you gotta think, like, a lot of mains and a lot of big characters and like groups are still around, even if a lot have died. So the world's not really screwed. They just haven't found a way to come back from it all.
You can't come back from it.
Yet.
There's walking corpses. How do you come back from that?
Well, the CRM had a 500-year plan. Well, you haven't got that far. You'd have to watch like more in depth The Walking Dead to understand it. What if Peter Griffin was in The Walking Dead? That's actually, you know what? I will do that because I already have Stewie being in The Walking Dead, but Peter, I was mainly trying to stick Stewie from Family Guy in, but you know what? I'll make an exception.
If anything, he'd die. Peter Griffin would die because he'd like hit his knee. He'd be stuck in that trance for like 5 minutes, and like a group of walkers would just come on top of him and start eating him.
Stewie would definitely like kill a lot of people. Think about it. This dude literally...
He has a Glock in most episodes. He's fine.
Yeah, and he's built time machines. He could just rewrite history to before The Walking Dead even happened.
He got a football for a head.
But I'm going to make it so that way his time machines get destroyed and he literally has to fight in The Walking Dead. Because it wouldn't be a fun story with Stewie in it if I just did that. It would be too easy.
Stewie would find a way to make the walker some kind of pet.
Pretty much. What if Iron Man was in The Walking Dead? I have Tony Stark being in The Walking Dead, I think. I don't know. Iron Man is almost too powerful.
Look at Marvel, the What If episodes.
I have. And people have asked me to do interpretations on that, which I'm not going to repeat what somebody else already did, a corporation. I don't want to get in trouble. But my point is that I have other characters like Batman and like Kid Goku and Yajirobe, but I put them at their weakest so that way going into The Walking Dead, they're not totally overpowered. So honestly, that's the Iron Man. If I do have that saved, I might, but Iron Man is just one of those characters you can't put in a weak thing. Even characters like John Wick and like some others that I've brought in is pushing it because of who some of them are. Because literally John Wick, I plan on like, that's actually my next what if after I upload the Cliff story. And we all know he would literally decimate everybody. John Wick is way beyond walking. He is like Hawkeye and Black Widow level. He belongs in the MCU, which I have a what if plan for that too.
In my opinion, he's more powerful than both of them. I don't find Hawkeye, I'm pretty sure is the weakest Avenger.
We've talked about that already. If Hawkeye held back like he did against Black Widow, he would have lost. But all out, he would wreck Black Widow.
Yeah, but if you really think about it,
and he has explosives.
Then
he doesn't have
combos.
Black Widow doesn't have explosives.
If
Hawkeye
you think
does.
of everything, not just combat, Black Widow wins because of her wealth.
Okay, but she doesn't have explosives. She has tasers, but she doesn't have explosives.
Yeah, but
Hawkeye
she can just
has explosive blows.
explosives.
When has Black Widow ever used an explosive in any point in when she was a Marvel character?
I don't know. She could. That doesn't mean she's incapable of taking a pin out of a grenade.
Yes, exactly. But it would have to be someone else's. But she wouldn't be able to do that with one of Hawkeye's. He's too quick.
He has a bow.
Yes. But
Any gun.
Hawkeye and Legolas, have you seen how fast they shoot bows? They're not, like, beyond able for anyone else to grab their things.
It's been scientifically proven that you can grab an arrow midair.
Yes.
Sure, you will get extensively cut
Black
off.
Panther did it. But Black Panther's way beyond Black Widow. She was barely able to keep him at bay with her tasers. And Black Panther fought through them.
Yeah, but Black Panther is stronger than a bow.
Yes. Which means he's stronger than... He can catch arrows in the air. We saw him do it.
Most Marvel people can.
But not Black Widow. Loki and Black Panther are the only two who ever caught Hawkeye's arrows.
Black Widow has manipulated people to do what she wants many times throughout the Marvel series. She could easily just manipulate comics, some movies.
She manipulated Loki, the god of mischief. That was it. That was it. You gotta think about like the movie franchise here.
I think of comics too.
All right, I guess if you're more of a comic fan. What if Gareth the groups survived? I have a few Gareth what ifs saved, but prolonging their fate to Alexandria and then killing them off there wouldn't really be like a story good for them. But I do have stories of Gareth surviving or turning good or stuff like that, or meeting the Pharaohs or the Pharaohs joining Terminus. So, yeah. I'm just saying that Hawkeye was able to put Black Panther, Iron Man, and Loki kind of at bay. But Black Widow, he almost completely decimated her. She put up a good fight. Don't get me wrong. I'm not dissing on Black Widow, but I'm just saying, if it were all out, Hawkeye would win.
I'm just saying, Hawkeye, least favorite Avenger of all of the series.
You gotta think about how much of an angelic fighter he is. Angelic, not angelic. And the bow, the way he uses his bow, and all the gadgets for his bow.
I just don't.
And his sword when he became Ronin. You got that to think about too. Did we ever see Black Widow use a sword or any kind of melee weapon besides her tasers?
I don't like him.
For what reason? Wait, why don't you like him?
I just don't like his fighting style. I find it irritating. I find his character just annoying.
What if Michonne died instead of Carl? I have what if Carl survived. I mean, no one ever asked me to do that. I can do that, but it's going to be a lot like my what if Carl survived story. But I can do it.
Yeah, if I had to choose one Avenger never to exist, it would be him.
I think he deserves a lot more credit. So we got, what if Minecraft was circles instead of blocks, Peter Griffin in The Walking Dead, and Michonne dying instead of Carl. And we're consistently talking about Hawkeye and Black Widow.
In my opinion, neither of them should be. And
So what if like Sam and Jesse's family survived? I already have that happening or happened in like 38 other stories. What if Vegeta trained Gohan? I am not doing any. The only Gohan type stories that I'm doing is like, what if Gohan became the first Super Saiyan? What if Gohan became a Super Saiyan 4? And like a few other ones, but I'm not having Gohan always training or Vegeta training Gohan because I don't want to do too many Gohan stories because Gohan's character is so complex because they nerf him, they buff him, and it's just continuous. And like I mentioned in the past Q&A, I just think that the way that they made Beast a form that Gohan always had, rather than make it part of his mystic form, which is what was literally teased, and then just have it like, oh, that was with him all the time. We're not going to acknowledge Gohan pursuing a power beyond mystic. I mean, it was beyond mystic, don't get me wrong, but I was like thinking of an alter like form transferred from mystic. I'm doing plenty of Gohan what ifs, but I'm not doing ones that instantly give Gohan the leeway because it's just very complex with Gohan's character. What if Randall was part of the Reapers? Yeah, like I said, I'm not doing any like Randall what ifs or anything like that. Besides Randall surviving and what if his group attacked Terminus? What if Vegeta kept his tail and wished it back and became Super Saiyan 4? I have Vegeta becoming a Super Saiyan 4 early and making that canon, along with, I think, Saiyans keeping their tails and a few other Super Saiyan 4 what ifs. A few of which I actually canceled and re-put back on. Now I gotta check something real quick. Well, we got 3 ideas. Okay, that's annoying. Especially the sound of your fingers against the water bottles. It's like paper against like your skin, or like your silverware against plates. It's just one of those sounds you can't really listen to.
I like all sounds.
Okay. What if Otis killed Shane is saved? What if Rick spared Tomas? Tomas surviving, as well as several other Tomas and prisoner what ifs, are already saved. I know about Krauser, Mia, Ethan, Leon, Redfield, and Ada and Ashley and the whole Sadler group, but I have never looked into Jill Valentine, so I'm going to say that's a no on my behalf. But I know plenty of other Resident Evil characters. What if June spared Virginia? Virginia surviving is already saved. All right, so that's still 3 ideas. You got any more?
That's all I get to think about this moment.
What if Merle didn't kidnap Glenn and Maggie? Then they would have just gone back to the prison. Merle would have returned to Woodbury, and the same story would have gone on. It just would have been a little bit different with Merle, and Glenn and Maggie wouldn't have been so traumatized, and Glenn wouldn't have been as angry. It would have been basically much different for Glenn and Maggie's character, but overall the story wouldn't have changed too much. What if Alicia joined Daryl's spinoff after season 7 finale? Alicia joined. Hey, the person. I'm gonna do a few Alicia things now. Jeez. Out of the blue, I'm just like getting the Madison and the Nick and all these other people joining groups that I never thought of before. Joined Daryl in France. What if Alicia joined a Croat? CRM. All right, so the Croat, France, and the CRM. When is the McQueen story coming out? The middle of August is when it will be out, and you guys will freaking love it. What if Michonne wasn't suspicious of the governor, stayed at Woodbury? So what if Michonne was loyal to the governor? Well, Hello, Dale. Well, she joined Negan, and some say he was worse than the governor, so I'm surprised no one ever freaking asked me that. What if Michonne stayed loyal to the governor? Oh, you lost your account. That sucks. How'd that happen? Okay, so what if she stayed loyal to the governor? Dale. Okay. I thought I was thinking of something for a second. But we're good. I don't know why I never thought of her staying loyal to the governor there. Technically, I did it in my first adaptation, my first story with What If Rick Exiled Shane, the first story. So she was with the governor, but technically I didn't make her loyal. What if Lucille survived? I already did. I have her in a few other stories killing Negan, living instead of Negan, and him having the cancer, and so on. So that's 7 stories saved. I'm going back to that Minecraft and having circles instead of blocks. Like, how would that even look? I feel like that would be cursed. I'm going to look at this. Minecraft with circles. Instead of blocks. Stupid computer. Stupid.
Yeah, something like that. Oh, cursed image.
What if Troy joined the Saviors? What if Rick didn't bite Joe's throat out? I have the Claimers turning good and a few other things like that, so... And almost every one of my stories, Rick doesn't actually encounter the Claimers. So, technically that's already happened in a lot of my stories. But, yeah. I have a bunch of other things, but here's the thing. Here's the one who recommended it.
Yeah.
These are pictures of Minecraft being circles instead of blocks, which was the first idea, and it was recommended by him.
Yeah.
What if Troy joining the Saviors is saved? I have Shane joining other groups and Andrew joining like 1 or 2, but it's mainly Shane. And I have plenty of Shane Fear the Walking Dead groups. So that's still 7. All right. Less gold. Who is that? Dwight joined Alexandria. Technically, he did join Alexandria for a time. So who's less gold? American pawnbroker? Overview. It's an American. I don't think it would have done anything if he was in The Walking Dead. Plus, I barely know anything about the guy. What if Lizzie survived? Or, like, what if Carol spared Lizzie? Or, like, what if Lizzie joined Alpha? That's already done, plus many other Lizzie stories I have planned. And I've made Lizzie survive in quite a few what ifs. What if Abraham killed himself before meeting Eugene? Then Rosita might have died and Eugene may have died. If Rosita was with Eugene or something like that, I feel it just would have gone bad. And you needed Abraham at least until past season 4's point. What if Lizzie killed Judith, which is a sick what if, by the way, is already saved from a while ago. Okay, that was a very dramatic yawn.
Dramaticness.
Stuff and nonsense.
Stuff and knowledge.
No.
Yeah. Who plays Dead Island?
Okay. We're here to talk about what ifs, not video games.
Yeah, well,
yes, video game what ifs, since you made the first one. I guess I can give you a little bit of leeway there, but, like, do you have any, like, what if stuff? Besides that one?
What Dead Island is.
Well, I ain't gonna be getting into any Dead Island what ifs.
Why?
Because I barely really pay attention to those games anyway.
Both games in total is like $80. It's not that expensive. I didn't spend that much money on video games.
Okay.
Totally.
What if Glenn died from the prison sickness? I believe I have that saved already, or Glenn just wasn't supposed to die at that time. So, yeah. What if Glenn Quagmire was in The Walking Dead?
Giggity.
I mean, Peter and Stewie, I get. But even... I mean, I'll even put Joe in the mix, but I'm going to give him his legs. because we all saw how sick he was with his legs. What was Joe's last name? Joe.
Oh, Joe something.
Okay. Joe family. Swanson was. Why Quagmire? What would he do? He wasn't much of a fighter.
Yeah, but he was pretty big of a perv.
He would have just been another Ed, Pete, or frickin' just another rapist, and he would have gotten himself killed. There'd be no point. Joe Swanson, Peter Griffin, and Stewie are like the only characters you could put into The Walking Dead. No, that's just another cannibal what if, and I don't want to do too many of those. There are already a decent level of cannibal groups in The Walking Dead, and if you do too much of the same thing, The Walking Dead would lose its luster because it would keep repeating the same formula, and people argue that they already have repeated the same formula. Would we really want something that repeats the same formula like that much? It would just get old. Which is why Dragon Ball and Marvel have done time travel and multiversal stuff after so long, because you need new. You can't, nothing lasts forever. What if Shane was a coma instead of Rick? That's saved. All right, that's 8 ideas so far.
You need to watch more anime and play more games. Then I could give you what ifs for hours. With a lot of games I play and a lot of anime I watch.
I've gotten into plenty of other anime characters, at least, like One Punch Man, Naruto, and other stuff like that. And I play many, 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 many games if it wasn't plainly obvious. But I am a franchise-specific person. Video games, I want to touch upon mainly the characters. That's how you build a true big story.
Yeah, but you need to touch upon the story then if you want to make a story.
What if Madison, Tracy, and Alicia join Dead City? I'm not going to do anything with that specific group until we know where they're at from, because they said at the end of Fear they were going to Los Angeles. So I'm going to wait for future Daryl Dixon stuff and the rest of Dead City and whatever's left of The Walking Dead to come out first. Now, I know that's some time, but I didn't even want to do what if Heath was in The Ones Who Live until it was over, because I thought he was already going to be in it. What if Daryl and Carol and Rick and Michonne switch spin-off rules? Nah, it's way too convoluted. You'd have to go all the way back to season 9 and basically, technically, I have Daryl blowing up the bridge, so that's your pretty much what if idea. What if Daryl blew up the bridge instead of Rick? And I put that off a while ago, but then I put it back. So technically, I've already got that specific idea saved. Since more people are here now, how are you guys liking the Cliff story, the updates on the McQueen story, and all the stuff that has been coming out and everything? You're almost always dry on what if stuff.
Yeah, because you don't play the games and watch the same stuff as me.
It's fair to a point, but I mean, you're in to Dragon Ball, The Walking Dead, and several other shows
Yeah,
and
but
stuff
I
that
need
I'm
to-
into.
Yeah, but I need to finish Dragon Ball and I need to finish Walking Dead.
What about Marvel?
Well, that's there. I don't know what to touch base on Marvel with.
When is the McQueen story coming out? The middle of August. Because the Cliff story will have 8 to 10 parts, and that'll be wrapped up by next week. I'm pretty sure. No, by the end of July, the Cliff story will be wrapped up, and then the John Wick story is one part. So possibly not even the middle of August, like kind of near it. But just know that by the beginning, kind of middle of August, you will see the Cliff story or the McQueen story.
Or you could just hack into Nick's mainframe, find the video, and watch it early.
Okay. How would you be able to do that if I don't have it recorded yet? Nonsense.
You just still get the images and stuff.
Yeah, you have the image. What good would be having the images if you can't tell the story?
Just track your location at all times.
Okay, you're sounding really convoluted right now.
Just track.
What if Dakota survived? I have several other Dakota stories, but her surviving, it really wouldn't do much.
Be aware.
Dale and Andrea staying at the CDC. For the morale and stuff, it would have just sunk the group so low, especially near Fort Benning. Dale and Andrea dying when they did or surviving from a longer point is the best case scenario for Dale and Andrea. What if the CRM kidnapped Teddy and Dakota? I have Teddy joining the CRM, but that's about the closest you're going to get. What if she killed work in a Walking Dead comic? What? That don't make no sense. What if Heath didn't disappear? I have him staying in many other stories and several other Heath stories. Like, what if he was in The Ones Who Live? Or, like, several other stories where he's actually more important of a character. Or I just kill him off in a better way because we still don't know what happened to him. He just, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
It's like, we don't even care. Just like half the Fear the Walking Dead characters, like Walker and freaking, what's their names? Sarah and Wendell, who were apparently killed off screen and they were starved. What if Nick was in the Walking Dead comics? Fear wasn't even in the Walking Dead comics, so it wouldn't be a point. You have to include Fear, and the comics are really convoluted. There are only very few things from the comics that I like, and it just doesn't match the level of the show, because that's what I got into when I got into The Walking Dead, was the show.
You always read the books, then the show.
Not always. Much of what I've gotten into, the show was better. And I got into the shows first. Dragon Ball being an example. What if Nicholas didn't kill himself? Nicholas surviving, I think I have saved, and a few other Nicholas stories, but it doesn't amount to much because I have him joining Negan. That's a story that you guys could be looking forward to seeing. Oh, and I hope you guys like the new Rick and Goku picture for the channel. Because if you guys remember, I had it for my channel at one point, but it was like an Earth space background. But this, I actually got rid of their backgrounds for the Rick and Goku pictures fully, recropped them on my computer this time, and put an Omniverse background so it looks even better. Because you'll see by the end of the McQueen story that's why I did it. But I've already spoiled a lot for the story in community posts and Discord and everything, so to spoil more would literally destroy the story. Caudron? I don't remember who Caudron is. Caudron. Ah. Well, we haven't seen Caudron do much besides... Can you stop? You know, you could always, like, talk to the fans and, like, you know, socialize on YouTube.
Buy a pizza and send it to this address. I'm in a mood for pizza.
Yeah, no. We haven't seen Caudron do much besides spare Daryl and seem to be a threat with the variants. So I'm not going to do much until we get more of the Daryl story. What if I tell you that Cliffjumper is my favorite Transformers Prime Autobot? Well, I would say that's really cool. Oh, you're one of the ones I think who commented on my Cliff story. People are really loving the first part to my Cliff story, like much more so than I thought everyone would. Like, I honestly expected no one to watch it. But when it started blowing up in a day, I'm like, God dang, we got a bunch of Transformers Prime fans here. Will you stop with the annoying noises for one freaking second? Just stop.
One.
You know what? Never mind. What if the Well Walker bit Glenn? I don't think I have that saved, and because it's just too early to kill Glenn, especially if he didn't even get with Maggie yet. I have that actually as a what if. Like, what if they never got together?
Kill Glenn off first episode.
What, when he first saves Rick? What the frick would be the point in that? It would get Rick killed too. You would literally kill the story.
Meh. There's other characters.
None to replace Rick Grimes.
There's still other characters.
Shane killing Rick in season 2, there's a replacement. Kind of. Even with that, Rick Grimes, Andrew Lincoln made Rick pretty much the most important character in The Walking Dead.
No, don't kill off.
Besides Daryl, Carol, Negan, Maggie, and those characters, Rick is the most important guy.
You're not killing him off. You're just leaving him trapped in the tank. So someone else would have to save him.
Who?
Someone.
No one else
You're
would
the
save
one
him.
making the what ifs.
Yeah.
I'm not in charge.
The
of making
Vatos gang, I don't think,
details.
would save Rick. And as for anyone else, they probably wouldn't care as much as Glenn. What's your main focus for fan fiction? You mean like what ifs and stuff and like all that? Well, I'm glad you asked. Well, Dragon Ball, Marvel, Lord of the Rings, John Wick, Transformers Prime, The Walking Dead, Scream, Saw, Twilight, Shrek, Ice Age, RoboCop, Pirates of the Caribbean, and many, many more. A lot. Like a lot.
I want this singular brick.
Okay? You'd be tearing out a part of the house, which would possibly fall and kill us all. So, sucks to suck.
I want this brick though.
Yeah, well, I want a gold mansion, but you don't see that happening.
Just try harder.
Well, thank you very much for that insightful frigging guidance.
Mm-hmm.
What if Herschel didn't keep walkers in the barn? As much as it pains me to say it, I don't know of another way to really treat Herschel's family without that. What if Maggie died instead of Glenn and Glenn joined Dead City with Negan? I have 2 stories about Maggie dying instead of Glenn, but no spinoffs were really truly covered. Would you do some Fast and Furious what ifs? People have asked me about that, but I'm gonna say no. If I do, I really don't know. It took me forever to get into stuff like Harry Potter and other things like that. And Harry Potter, I'm just watching. Like, I thought of covering at one point, but Harry Potter's just more something to watch. So Fast and Furious, I'm gonna have to say like very, very maybe, like almost no on that one. What if Morgan? I'm not doing any comic-based what ifs. Just touches from the comics into the show, not fully comic-based because how convoluted and messy the comics are. But that's 8 ideas. What if Merle was saved by the Vatos gang? That's saved.
What if I had a pizza?
You know, you can just make that what if come true, right?
Yeah, I have $1, and that's not enough to buy a pizza. Someone buy me a pizza, I'll pay you back eventually. I want a pepperoni pizza.
Well, aren't you just a fountain of information?
Yeah, I want it delivered to this address in 10 minutes.
Wonderful. I'll be sure to. We're in Twilight Eclipse?
Make sure
Twilight Eclipse?
Make sure to tell them what the address.
Let me ask you something. No one cares.
I want my pizza.
I don't care.
Yeah, well, I want my pizza.
Well, good for you.
I want my pizza.
Wonderful.
Where's my pizza?
You had pizza today.
Yeah, but I want another pizza.
The Avengers being in Twilight? No. They would wreck Twilight and the vampires and the wolves. Hawkeye and Black Widow would be like the only two that would like maybe have trouble with the vampires and the wolves. But as for that would literally be a stomp. What if Rick and Michonne got into a relationship in the Walking Dead comics? I would say it would just be the same as the show.
Pizza.
No one cares about your dumb, pathetic, ignorant, fat, self-absorbed, ignorant, big, overbloated, freaking pizza.
Yeah, well, I still want my pizza.
You already had pizza today.
Well, I want another pizza.
Hey, look, the world is not made of pizza, all right?
It could be.
But it's not.
I could turn you into a pizza.
I would love to see you even attempt that.
Just in your sleep, grab a chainsaw, cut you up, put you in the oven with some bread. It comes out.
No one has ever seen a human-based pizza.
I'll make the first human-based.
Are you a fan of Miss the Part in his videos? I was for a time, but then I started to get into more, and it just became no. But I am a fan of plenty others. I'm a fan of Mosco X, Salad Satan, Carthu Dojo, Smug Stick, Litro DLC, Litro Storm, and a few others I can't think off the top of my head.
Annoying Orange.
He's not a what if YouTuber, but I am subbed to his channel though. On another account. The account that I watched stuff off of that used to be my Pro Gamer Nick account. Which is now Triforceful God, which I made a member on this channel, specifically just for the reason that I was testing out the membership deal. What if Lance never tried to kill Darrow and Carol and ended up in France? I have Lance surviving, as well as several other Lance and CRM stories. So, yeah. No one cares about your pizza time.
I want my pizza time.
Don't care. Don't. Okay, don't. Okay, don't. Don't
What
care.
if Rick Grimes had a
I'm pretty sure you already asked me to do what if Rick was a pizza delivery guy. I did? Oh, yeah, I did.
Why?
Because
He could be like a better version of Glenn. He could save
Glenn
himself.
was fine the way he was.
Yeah, well, he used to be a pizza delivery guy. So second episode, and he could have escaped on his own. Which brings me back to the first point. You could kill off Glenn very beginning.
8 ideas that we got in the Q&A. And, all right. We didn't get to see King Devin or a few others, but that's all right. We still got good ideas here, and we got to get good ideas, yeah, and get a few decent people in here. So with that, I'm going to close off the Q&A for today.
10 hours more long.
Can I finish, please?
No.
Anyway, we're going to finish off the Q&A here. Thank you guys so much for the 8 ideas here in this Q&A. Thank you, Damon, for at least like recommending the few ideas you did.
Pizza.
Yeah. And with all that said, for those of you who missed the stream or did not get to recommend the ideas that you wanted, feel free to watch back the stream or comment any what if suggestions or reviews or anything you want down in the comments below whenever the stream is put out, or in the comment section of my Discord or any one of my posts or videos on the channel. It really doesn't matter. I will find it. I'll read it. I'll try and look into it. We all know this, especially people who've been here for a good minute. And with all that said, I will see you guys tomorrow in the Discord, and then Monday, Wednesday, and Friday for the uploads, and next Saturday for the next Q&A. With all that said, we are out.
Eat a pizza. Go buy a pizza. It makes your entire family happy. Go buy a piece of pizza.
If that's your goodbye, then